today?
Hey, Jordana. It's beautiful today. It's the beginning of the year. This is the first Sunday of the new year.
Yes, Happy New Year to all of our fans out there, our friends.
Yes. We got to see another Hallmark movie last night, and it was rather interesting to watch and enjoyable, but yet it threw me aside because I was expecting love in January and February around Valentine's Day. And this Hallmark was out of sequence.
So, and that's because you're new to Hallmark. This is love in a new year for us. And
Yes.
so basically we have Love-uary coming in February. So that's
Right.
going to be our Valentine's Day season. This is a new you, new year, love in the new year. So they kind of put it with the name title, if you get it, Love on the Right Course. Meaning
Yes.
we're on the right course of love,
We're
and there's the
in a
pun.
golf course.
And we're on a golf course.
Yes.
So they got us with the name, Love on a Right Course, which is,
Yes.
I think, key to it. And we have to remember and give it to the writers by starting
Yes.
the year off on a right course.
They did take us to a wonderful place in Hungary. They took us to Budapest, or Budapest, as they say, which is the capital of Hungary, and a place that is absolutely outstanding. And they presented this love story in Budapest on a golf course in the middle of January.
They weren't, but it wasn't filmed in January, Dad. They didn't say it was filming in January. They didn't mention the seasons or anything. I
No.
think she was supposed to be in Arizona before anything. It was just January for us, but for the characters, we don't know
And
the timeline.
we did get to go and visit Hungary and Budapest,
Yeah.
since this was filmed on location
In July.
Last July, yes.
Yeah, and so it was filmed on location, and I love Hallmark has been doing this for the last year. We've
Yes.
been able, and I don't know if it has to do with maybe the writer's strike that we had, unfortunately, last year, and that's why they had to leave the country.
They've been taking us around the world, yet if we read the reviews of the actor and actresses, they were Canadian performers.
They were, and I loved that Hallmark stuck to it. We got to see another place. We got to check off another box of
Yes.
visiting another country with Hallmark. Two of their best actors, I think, were in this.
They performed beautifully.
Yeah, we had Ashley Newbrough and Marcus Rosner, who is a hunk of a hunk in there.
He's a very handsome-looking gentleman.
With his
yes.
dimples, and she is adorable. So I love them being paired again in here. So I mean, to me,
Yes.
I know I really enjoyed it. I thought the scenery was great. Seeing Budapest, I loved. She was in pink. Did you notice she was in pink most of it, which I love
Yes.
seeing her pink too. But tell us what you thought of it.
What's
You've been to
interesting
Budapest.
for the first-time Hallmark viewer, this was a very predictable rom-com.
Yeah.
You knew who was going to fall in love with whom. You knew who was not going to be successful in love. And this play, this story developed in front of us, and it was performed by two wonderful actors. And the side actors that they had were cameo real golfers.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
cool. I thought that was
Yes, sir.
cool that they actually put in some actual professional athletes
Yes.
in there, and it was on a real golf course in Budapest.
Hungary, from what I understand, has 18 golf courses. And if you've ever been to Hungary, it's a beautiful country. And they have beautiful rivers and lakes. And right through the capital city of Budapest flows the Danube River, the Blue Danube. And they featured that in the story.
Mhm.
And remember, Budapest is actually two separate cities. There's the city of Buda, which is on the west side of the river, and there's the city of Pest, which is the left side of the river, or the south side, and it is full of hills, and there are big castles, and we were able to see much of that scenery.
Because they talked about that as well, and I love that they featured some of the different streets in there. They showed you the towns, and also they featured the food because they had a chef character in there as
Yes.
well. And as a tribute to the character's mother,
Mhm.
who was a pro golfer, we found, who has recently passed, which this is part of the storyline, but also had a love for food and everything. So that
Yes.
was a part of this. So food was a big part of this, and we got to
Well,
see a lot of that.
Hungarian food is very popular in the United States, and we have all kinds of wonderful things like peppergosh, and we have soups,
And
borscht,
goulash.
and those type of soups, and Hungarian goulash, and this is all brought forth. But Hallmark did a very fine job of presenting a love story, and albeit predictable, it was very enticing to watch. It was a typical Hallmark. It was a little out of season, though.
Yeah, and I can see how it bothered you in that way.
Yes.
I did find it interesting that, like you said, predictable. We were calling it like they're gonna fall in love. They're gonna work. This is gonna be.
Yes.
He's gonna work for her.
Yeah,
She's gonna bring home that dog.
right.
You know?
And that was cute. They had a dog, and the love interest's father was acting as a
Recent
dog. A recent widower was training the dog and giving a dog a home, and we see that here in the United States. But basically, it was a typical Hallmark. But what's for next week? Are we going to get back into the theme of Valentine's Day?
So there's love all the time on Hallmark, but we're still sticking to winter. We're not going to, Dan, and I know this is upsetting to you, but we're not going to get into Valentine's Day until we hit Love-uary, and that's February. So we have a little bit of time. Next week is a Scottish love scheme, Now, I don't know what it's about, but it's going to be about love, we know, and it's taking us to Scotland, it seems like.
Oh my goodness, that should be very interesting.
So we're traveling.
Are we going to be filming on location?
I believe, I would imagine we are. It seems like Hallmark is just like we did last year, and I think it was in January that we did a lot of the traveling too. So I'm excited that they're taking us
Well,
to see
we're looking
things.
forward to another Hallmark in Scotland, and we'll see how that fits into the seasons. But you know what, Jordana? Love fits into all seasons.
Exactly.
And Hallmark is the center of love for us all to watch.
And who doesn't love love? Love,
Yes.
love, love, right? And so that's what we did. And overall, I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And everybody, it's a must see in my book.
Yes.
Because you don't have to think about it. It had two great actors.
If you've never been to Hungary, go watch this movie, and you will be able to mark Hungary off as a place you visited.
Yeah.
To everybody, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.